Hello, crypto freaks. So, I've been filming these videos now for about 3 months, and I haven't posted anything. I've just been working on this whole video recording thing, um, and getting comfortable with the camera before I start just posting stuff. So, I'm gonna actually post this one. This is gonna be the first one I ever post. My name is Shane, and there's a quick peek of my kitchen. My name is Shane, and I'm going to be posting most clips of these videos on my Instagram account, which is at CryptoVids with an S at the end. And I'm also going to have I have a YouTube channel, which I will be posting the full videos to. And that YouTube channel is Home Run Crypto. Home Run Crypto, just how it sounds. So the reason why I'm doing this is there's a few really good crypto personalities out there on YouTube, on Twitter. Twitter's got a pretty heavy crypto presence. I haven't really scouted out Instagram much, but I figured, what is popular on YouTube, what is popular on Twitter, is likely to at some time be popular on Instagram as well. So I'll be putting a lot of my content on there, and like I said, they're going to be shorter clips of a longer video to which you can watch the full length of on YouTube. Early on, I'll probably do a little bit of editing until I can get, more and more comfortable. I'd like to give you just, straight up unedited content. I think it's more genuine. It's more personal. So I'm going to get to that point as quickly as possible. So please kill me softly on the hiccups along the way, if you choose to leave some comments. And the reason I'm doing this channel is because I've been in crypto for a few years now, and basically I got in very shortly after finishing up school, and I say finishing up school because I actually didn't graduate. I elected to basically drop out with about 8 credits remaining to get a bachelor's degree from a very reputable school. And I just sat down and I realized that, the only way for me to get those last few credits, and I actually I exceeded the credit requirement for my area of study, and I just needed basically some, what do they call it, like the freshman courses that you need that I didn't have. I needed to take like 2 or 3 of these courses that were totally irrelevant to what I studied. And like I said, I had actually taken several graduate level classes pertaining to my area of study. So I had far exceeded those credit requirements. And I went to them and I was like, look, this doesn't really make sense to me. I've far exceeded my credit requirement for my particular area of study. Is there any way that, you might be able to make this work so that I don't have to come back for another semester and, pay what actually would have been about $30,000 to finish up my degree? And they said no, so I said no. I wasn't going to go take out more student loan debt to get this glorified piece of paper. And then I started. That really helped kind of push my personal awakening to. I basically saw the little white rabbit, right? And I was like, man, this just doesn't seem right. And I started chasing that rabbit a little bit. And, I got real with myself, started working for a startup company. And then I started thinking about new ways to generate income. And I was like, man, I got to find a way because I got this massive pile of student loan debt. I don't actually have my technical bachelor's degree on a piece of paper, and I'm not going to go back and pay for that. Would I take a couple online classes to finish it up? Yeah, but I'm not paying for it. So if that opportunity comes along, I will take it probably, or maybe I won't. maybe I'll just be so far down this rabbit hole that I'll be like, screw it. But anyway, so it forced me to find a few areas to generate income. And that led me to Bitcoin, really. And I had been studying Bitcoin in college. I would say I first started like hearing about it, reading about it in 2012. I thought it was really interesting. And really 2013, I started to study it, follow it a little bit. And I would say 2014 is when I really started researching it and doing some analysis and just learning more and more about it. I came close to buying it a few times. I ultimately consulted friends that were studying econometrics and finance and, economics and all kinds of stuff. And, I thought it would be smart to consult them because this is the stuff they study. And I, explained to them in my best words what it is, what Bitcoin is and how it works. And most of them had heard of it. Basically all of them came back to me and said, yeah, don't do it. It's probably just, looks like a pretty serious bubble. It's not backed by anything. I personally can't see this going anywhere. So I made the decision not to buy in. And it nauseates me to the day. I had opportunities to buy in at about $27. So that made me sick, still does. But at the same time, I still did end up getting in back when Bitcoin, I got in at like 2015 when it was a few $100. I had very little money to work with, very little initial capital to put in. But what I did is I was able to take a very small amount of US dollars, buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, and as these new cryptocurrencies, as these new altcoins came to existence, and these exchanges started opening up for you to buy and sell and trade, I was able to turn that fraction of a Bitcoin into multiple Bitcoin and several Ethereum, and now it's kind of I got holdings in over 25 coins right now. And also, before I get going and what I want to cover today, this is just an intro video. I like to think of myself as a normal dude. I'm not a millionaire, far from it. I've never been a millionaire. Quite frankly, I'm a college dropout, and I got 8 credits remaining. Actually, I got 8 credits remaining on one degree and probably about 13 credits on another degree. So I could probably finish that up in a matter of months if I wanted to, but I just don't see the value in it. For me, the value proposition is non-existent. It just doesn't make sense to me to get this glorified piece of paper, because what do I do with that? I take that piece of paper to a guy in a suit sitting at a desk with his name on it, and he decides whether or not I'm good enough and whether or not he wants to hire me so that I can do the work that he needs or that somebody else in that office needs. And that goes against everything that I believe in. And I've the last several years, I've basically done that, and I've come to the realization that I hate that, and that's not the reality that no dollar amount could really persuade me to come over to that side and see this is okay, because then ultimately I'd just be a sellout, going against everything I believe in. And what it is that I do believe in is I believe in humanity, and I believe that people should find something that they enjoy doing, and perhaps something that they're relatively good at, and do a lot of that. Just start doing more and more of that, whatever that thing is. For me, it's not about the money. It's really about the freedom, and it's about the time. And my unfortunate circumstances, I think a lot of other people around my age are living in, and that is, having this massive pile of student loan debt. That nothing is going to save you from it. You have to pay that debt, and the unfortunate, if you are lucky enough where you don't have a cosigner, somebody that signed on that loan with you when you were 18 years old and didn't know anything about anything, and we're agreeing to, accepting a massive loan with crazy interest rates. If you had a cosigner come along with you, that cosigner is held just as liable as you are when it comes time to make payments on this to repay this debt. If I didn't have a cosigner, I would gladly default these loans and accept the shit credit. Basically, I'd have the worst credit score you could possibly get for, forget what the duration of time is, 7 years, but I wouldn't be paying $1,000 a month. I wouldn't be paying upwards of 45% of my income on a monthly basis to repay these student loans. I would gladly accept that shit credit score, and I would take that money that I would be putting into one of the more criminal organizations that exist, and these private lenders such as Sallie Mae, Navient. I'm sure there's many more, but for me, it's those two. I would take the $1,000 a month, and I would be putting it into probably crypto, at least the vast majority of it. And if I had been able to do that, I would be very well off today. And not to say that I'm not well off. I think I'm in a pretty good position right now. I think I have holdings in coins that a lot of people would like to have. With that said, again, even in terms of crypto, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even close. My goal is to hit a number where I can basically pay off my student loan debts in one big check. Now, this is also a different thing. It's complicated, but basically pay them off in one big check, and all other debts, will wipe them out completely, so I'm entirely debt-free. Buy some land, and build a house for myself. That's a very, very high-level overview of what my plan is. For me, it's not about being a millionaire and living a lavish lifestyle. It's about being free. And unfortunately, I have to buy my freedom because I am an indebted. At this point, I am an indebted slave to, I guess, what you would call the American government, like so many other people. So I do have to buy my freedom. There's really no other way around it. And I believe crypto is my silver bullet to being able to do that, so that I can be free. Because I don't care about, like I said, I don't need to live a lavish lifestyle. I don't need to be that top 1% of the top 1%. I have no desire for that. I desire simplicity. I desire genuine human interaction. And I desire getting more and more in touch with my mind and my body, and this beautiful planet that we live on. So, over the course of the next couple of years, I'll be going out and getting my own food. And what I mean by that is hunting and fishing a lot more. I've fished my entire life. I've hunted very little, but I have some pretty big things in the works for hunting this year. Very, very excited for that. We are, as human beings, we are the apex predator. There's no question about it. And I would say a very, very small percentage, excuse me. The sun is a little bit leaky. Getting a lot of snow in the Northeast now. When that starts to fall, the humidity in the air changes. And I get a little bit stuffed up. But so excuse my sniffling. I know that's pretty tacky. But where was I? The apex predator. So I think while we are the apex predator, the ultimate predator, and I say we, I refer to human beings. I think it's a very small percentage of us that are living as an apex predator. The vast majority, at least in this country, in America, people will go to the grocery store, they buy all their food there, and they don't ask questions about where this stuff comes from. how it's raised, or meat wise, how it's grown. Where do the seeds to the vegetables you're buying? Are they Monsanto seeds, or are they real, organic, all natural seeds? Were the chickens raised in a warehouse with thousands upon thousands upon thousands, living every day, running around in their own shit and piss, and same goes for cows. Were they fed grain and crap, and were they old and fat and sick cows? And then you butcher them up, and we Americans, over the course of time, have grown this association with an old sick cow's meat as being a big, like a big time meal, and it's I guess when you're used to eating that crap, and then you put a fresh venison steak in your body, a fresh moose steak in your body, a wild fish, a fresh striper. I mean, when you just do that, it's like, I mean, it is